Well, hello, fourth graders. Second and final part on this science review that we have every single Tuesday. Let's continue double checking the glossary. I always insist on the fact of you going and checking any further doubts that you might meet on this section, but let's do it all together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 definitions, all right? Alexa, can you help me do the reading of force and friction? Force, the push or pull that can change the motion of an object. Most forces are contact forces. Remember, by definition, it's merely a push or a pull, and obviously it produces the change in the movement of that object. That is the definition of force. And remember the two categories of force that we happen to have, contact and non-contact forces, all right? Alexa, continue. Friction, a contact force that opposes the motion of an object. Friction can cause a moving object to slow down or to stop. Thank you, Alexa. Remember when we were talking, for instance, about playing soccer? You kick the ball. Depending on how fast you kick it and on the surface the ball rolls up, you will have more friction or less friction. For instance, when you have this fabulous World Cup of soccer, internationally speaking, they play on grass, a special grass. So it produces less friction than playing in an irregular surface or on an irregular surface, right? That is friction. Now we have gravity and iron. Arlette, if you're ever there, can you help me do the reading? Gravity, a non-contact force that pulls masses toward one another. Earth gravity pulls objects toward its center. I guess this is one of the clearest definitions that we might have had. Gravity, non-contact force, inevitably the center of the Earth, which is our planet, attracts objects toward itself. Iron, a kind of metal that is magnetic. Remember when we talked about magnetism and how magnets worked? We said that certain elements like wood repelled, all right? But if we had metal elements, they get attracted. Different poles attract, okay? Thank you, Arlette, if you did the reading. Let's see, Majo, hello. Can you read magnet and magnetism? Magnet, something that pulls irons and some metal objects toward it. Okay, let's think about grandmas and our moms. Some of them like to collect these things. When they travel to different parts of the country or different parts of the world, they like collecting magnets. And they decorate the refrigerator with them. They are called magnet because they pull iron and some other material toward it. When you put them against the refrigerator, they do not fall down. They are attracted by this magnetism. And magnetism, Majo, is the non-contact force that magnets have. Okay? Then we have mass and matter. David, hello. Can you read, not using that Kutrapali accent? Thank you. The amount of matter in an object. Objects with more matter have more mass. And we gave the example of Mishka and the poodle. Mishka has greater mass than the poodle. Now, matter is the material that everything in the universe is made of. Because all the objects, people, things around the planet contain matter, well, this is a material that everything in the universe is made of because every single object occupies a space in this so-called planet Earth. Then we have motion and position. John Michael, can you lend me a helping hand and read? Motion. You can read with your British accent. The action or process of changing position. A child is in motion when he or she moves from the top of a slide to the bottom. Motion has to do with movement, okay? When you alter the position of an object, you alter its motion. Position, an object's location or where something is. Thank you, John Michael. Let's see the last one. Eva, I'm missing 3. Can you read them out loud, please? Speed, the rate at which or how fast an object changes its position. Let's compare, I don't know if you have watched a commercial, most probably not, because you are attached to social media but not on television, but there used to be a commercial on Duracell. It was a battery commercial, and you had two rabbits. One was charging from a battery from another brand, and the other one was being charged because of using Duracell batteries. The one with another brand of batteries was very slow. So the speed of the animal was kind of slow because it didn't have potential energy due to the brand. Now, steel is a hard material that is made mostly from iron, and weight is the amount of pull gravity has on an object. I guess all of these concepts have been already explained in previous lessons as well on this one. But since we need to double check concepts, now we're going to watch a self-explanatory clip to see in general what the contents of this final lesson were about. Okay? Let's see. Okay, there we saw gravitational power. Okay? Inevitably, the apple landed on this boy's hands because the bird couldn't grab the apple on its beak. Okay? Gravitational power. Then we saw the characterization of Isaac Newton and the first law that he established. Obviously, this force that is exerted by this soccer ball, it means or it implies friction, which is a contact force. By kicking the ball, you are exercising or you are inducing the object to create motion, because motion is the action of changing the positioning or location of such objects. So let's focus on Newton's first law of motion. He's acting like the centenarian, by the way. Okay, general information. He was one of the greatest influential scientists of all time. Three laws of motion. We're going to focus on the first one. An object will continue to remain at rest unless another action or another force exercises some kind of movement on top of it. If Isaac Newton didn't push the ball, it would remain standing still. An external or unbalanced force. This is an unbalanced force because they don't weigh the same. And this is an unbalanced force because it depends on the friction of the object. He finally managed to move the rock even though he fell down. Okay, let's see what is going to happen in terms of science. Aha! For gravitational power, the apple should fall down. But there is an unbalanced force that is going to exercise some kind of power. You see? So this has been the first law by Isaac Newton. An object will remain still, that is to say, would stand still unless an external force exercised some kind of power on top of the object. But as you can tell, different external actions can be implied in this simple fact, like friction, motion, force, matter, mass, and weight. Okay? Guys, you have homework. Remember the procedure. You have to write down the acronym to your name, list number, and then you have to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and next to the number, you have to complete with the concept that you consider to be the right one next to each one of the statements. Let's read them out loud. Eva, first one. When John Michael tried to slide as he was bored, blank prevented that from happening. He was wearing his shoes. Remember the example that I gave you, okay? Number 2, Majo. When Carla's mom travels, she loves buying decorative magnets to decorate her fridge. Blank is a non-contact force magnets have. Very good. John Michael, read the next one, please. Alexa read in her science book that blank was the material everything in this planet was made of. Double check glossary, page 120, or go backwards in this video. Next one, David. Miss Caro, blank, Mishka in the park, and she tried to attack her fellow doggies. And finally, Barbie learned that blank is a kind of metal that is magnetic. You have to complete accordingly. Write down as many theoretical assumptions as we have covered. Do not restrain yourself to glossary. You might use any other word, even the ones from the spelling section that we had on Monday. And that would be it. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. Do your homework and see you tomorrow, which is Wednesday, hump day, to study some grammar and verbs conjugation. I love you. I miss you. Mishka says hello. Bye-bye.